I have to make a confession and an admission. I honestly think that I have become a spiritual narcissist. I have shifted from a life of, doing for everyone else, serving everyone else, all my life for 50 years. Everybody else's wishes, everybody else's opinions and wisdom was what I oriented myself by, and I never had any regard for myself. And so I'm noticing this shift towards a form of narcissism. A form of narcissism where my life has become all about myself. In part, one could say ego, but it's driven more by my soul, the deeper part of me. My life has all become about my soul self. And I live very soul self-centered. Okay? So if you have called me a narcissist in the past, you are correct. You are correct. And in some way, people have forced me into that position, aside from the soul awakening to what is really important in life, right? To take care of myself, self-care, self-love, self-importance for my soul is the highest priority. And that means you and everyone else comes second. And I do not even feel guilty about that. Because ultimately, we have to take responsibility for our own contentment, happiness, and self-preservation. Now, the only difference I would say from the from the person that is disconnected from their self-awareness and plays the persona of a narcissist and is taking advantage of other people. That I don't do. I am self-generated. I don't suck your energy to enhance myself. So this is a different form of self-love, a different form of self-focus. I try not to add harm to other people. That is kind of my goal in life, to treat myself to the highest care and self-love and not add hurt and damage and harm to others while doing that. And I think that is a sacred selfishness. But yeah, the thought just came to me, really. I'm very self-absorbed, always tuning into my soul, what's good for my soul. And like I said, I was sort of forced into that position because you can't please people. And it's not your responsibility to please other people and conform to their wishes and what they want. They have to make their own life, ultimately. I can, briefly hold your hand. I can briefly walk beside you. But ultimately, I can't carry you. You have to carry you. You have to walk yourself. And so, yeah. I am a self-proclaimed spiritual narcissist. And that comes about once you awaken and you wake up to the game that this life really is, with all the players and that you have been played. You're just not playing anymore. And that you're just interested in minding your own business, and that can come across to the programmed, conditioned selves out there as narcissistic, self-absorbed. You don't care about anything but yourself. And that's true. Because all my caring for everyone else doesn't really amount to anything, while I neglected myself, right? So being a narcissist, if it comes from the soul, from soul awareness, isn't always a bad thing, especially when you're not harming other people. I think there can be a positive spin to that. But if you're a narcissist that's driven from your ego, of course, your resources are always going to be running low and depleted, and you need to replenish that from outside. But in my case, I don't need to replenish anything from your resources. I have enough within myself, and that is fostered by this soul narcissism or spiritual narcissism, where my world revolves around me, my soul, my higher self, call it God. In the conventional language, in the Christian language, one would call this true devotion to God, making God first. Well, since I am God consciousness, it is only appropriate to devote myself, my energy to myself, to my soul, and become soul-centered, God-centered, and self-centered, infinite self-centered, right? So here you go. You can call me a narcissist and I won't be offended, because I know it's true. At some level, that is true, because I have become my highest priority in life. And if I have extra, if I have overflow, I will share that with you. But I'm not going to run off my feet and drain myself to keep the world around me afloat. I will not do that anymore.